Okay, what you're looking at here is my workbook, and I've got 5 sheets down below with data on each sheet. Let me go back to sheet 1. And it was created in the latest version of Excel, Excel 2013. Now, if you want to convert it to an earlier version, to help those who have an earlier version of Excel be able to read it and find out if it's compatible with it, well, we learned that in the previous training video. This one's going to be about actually learning how to convert it, which actually we kind of learned how to do in the previous training video as well. If you recall, it's doing the Save As. So if you come up here, and you click on the Save As button, if you didn't add it to the Quick Access toolbar. So it brings up the Save As window, close out, and go backstage, click on File, go down to Save As, and then come over here and click on Browse, brings up the same window. Now down below it's got the Save As type, and the current version, it doesn't say 2013, it just has Excel Workbook with the extension .xlsx. If you want to save it to an earlier version, click on the drop-down arrow, and the only other option that you get is the earlier versions of 97 through 2003 and everything in between, like 2000 and 2002. It doesn't give you other options for 2007 or 2010 or 2000 through 2010 because basically the biggest change came in 2007. And just a quick overview, if you look at the earlier version here that you can convert it to, the extension .xls, it only has 3 letters. Again, the extension lets the operating system know what program this file is supposed to be opened up in. So XLS is Excel. Also, you can see it up here, XLS, the same extension, except it adds an extra X. That extra X is for extensible markup language, a more stable file format, that when you save your workbook with this extra X, which is only in the later versions of Excel from 2007 to 2013, you get smaller file sizes, it's more stable, and if there's corruption, you have a better chance of opening it up and being able to view those parts that aren't corrupted than if you saved it in an earlier version. But that's not the point. If somebody has an earlier version of Excel that's in the range of 97 through 2003, then go ahead and select it and save it. If not, then you don't need to convert it, just go ahead and send it to them, and there might be some compatibility issues with 2007 and 2013, so you can watch my previous training video on it and find out what it is, and then decide, okay, that's not compatible, let me go ahead and remove this fancy formatting, so whoever has 2007 can actually read it without the formatting getting in the way or looking funny. In any case, to go ahead and save it to that earlier version, it's really simplistic. Go ahead and select the Save As type, and there you go. You can go ahead and rename it, Bob's database, because he doesn't have the latest version of Excel, so we want to convert it. Might as well slap his name on it, Sales Database. Well, we can save it in the folder on the desktop, the exercises folder, or we can just come over here in the navigation pane and save it right to the desktop and click Save. And there you go. Once you click Save, it opens up in that version that you saved it to, and you can see it up at the top, Bob Sales, and the extension XLS, not the extra X, that signifies that it's a later version of Excel. And we can go ahead and close out. There it is on the desktop. Double click on it to open it back up. And then kind of as a quick review, if you got fancy formatting applied to any one of your cells or charts or things like that, that when you do a Save As you recall in the previous training video, a compatibility checker will pop up and say, hey, I don't like these formats. If you go ahead and just send it off and don't get rid of them, then there's a chance that they might not be readable, or they might be converted to a picture and not usable if it's like a chart. Keep that in mind, and in fact, let's go ahead and close out, open up the exercises folder, and let's go back to the convert that has the extra X there, so we know it's created in a more recent version. And then go ahead and just do something that's really different, that's not available in the earlier versions of Excel. Go ahead and select Arrange, and then come up here on the Home tab to the Styles group, click on Conditional Formatting. Let's do Data Bars. Ooh, blue is fun. Select that, click off. Looks good, right? So if you want to go ahead and save that as an earlier version, click on Save As. In fact, let me go ahead and close out. The other way you can do this is click on the File tab and go down to Export, and then you can change the file type. I mean, that's what we were doing. Remember the type drop-down arrow when you opened up the Save As window? Well, it's the same thing here. When you click on Change File Type, you can choose what file type you want to change it to without that open window. In fact, even if you choose Template, double-click on it, it still opens up the window, but now it's in template. You can still change it on the fly here and say, okay, now I want you as an earlier version. In any case, that's another way you can do it. Just find the way that works best for you. There's more than one way to do this, or to get to the same Save As window here. And let's go ahead and do it on the desktop, and let's select Bob. And when I select his name, it replaces the name that was here. And when I click Save, it's going to override it or replace that file with the changes I made here, and click Yes. And then there's the compatibility checker that we talked about in the compatibility checker training video. Go ahead and watch that to learn more about this and know that, hey, it doesn't like what it sees here as far as sending this off to somebody who has that earlier version of Excel from 97 through 2003, maybe even 2007, and all the things you can do as we talked about in that video to go ahead and I'm going to click Cancel. Make it more viewable and less likely to run into errors or issues of being able to look at what you have here. You may have to remove it altogether because those earlier versions probably won't even look at this or convert it or change it and just not make it readable. In any case, you take your chances here, or you can test it on your own. For me, go ahead and select it and just get rid of the conditional formatting to clear rules from selected cells. Basically, if you don't have any fancy formatting, you can eliminate a lot of your problems when it comes to saving it into the earlier versions of Excel and getting that pop-up, the policeman, the compatibility checker. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, as soon as I upload a new video, you'll be notified instantly, and you can do that by coming over here and clicking on my face. You can also click here to support me, so for $2 a month, you can have access to over 2,700 training videos, all ad-free, and for a few bucks more, you can have access to my exercises, instructor notes, quizzes, certificate of completion, and a whole lot more.